I want you to explain something to me, because I can't figure this out for the life of me. So maybe you can help me out, all right? And this is just it. Stock markets, how do they work? I just need your help, because there's a couple things I haven't been able to figure out. All right, so you tell me, Chad, if I'm way off base, but I don't think I am, but maybe I am. All right, so let me start by doing some Chad. So first, let me draw a Chad. All right, so this is going to be some Chad stock market guy. Make those big old Chad eyes. And he's going to have powerful jawline. That he's, I'll put a little cocaine underneath him right here. There you go. There's the cocaine. And then, we'll say that there's probably a bulge, because he is alpha, right? So this is, and by the way, this is science. This is definitely how science and the stock market works. So that's going down there. So this is your average, your CEO. Anyways, help me out here, Chad. So you have something called, we'll just say a corporation, right? And the corporation has shares, which are also known as stocks. And so that's how these companies work. And then there's public shares and stocks, and there's private shares and stocks, right? Apparently, all of the stock market, all of it, 10% of stocks are, let's just say, humans own majority of stocks. So again, if I'm off base here, if I've said something wrong, but I think not enough cocaine, like nowhere near enough, orders of magnitude more cocaine. Oh, okay, all right, sorry, okay, yeah. See, I'm ready to be corrected, chat. This is what we're here for. So I don't know if this is really representative of what it looks like, but hopefully we're getting somewhere. So 10% of humans own the majority, which is 84% of the stock market. Okay, so we're getting there. So 84% of the stocks are owned by only 10% of the richest Americans, and I believe the majority of the population, majority of Americans don't own stock. So this is really only really rich people own the stocks, and the rest of the country doesn't, right? Majority of Americans don't own. So now when the stock market is doing well, when it's going up, it's because more people are investing in it, right? So when more money is going into the stock market, it goes up. And then when the rich people, decide they want to pull their money out because they're kind of worried, the stock market goes down. Is that how that works? Correct me, chat. Am I off base, or am I getting close here? Yes. Okay. All right. So when people invest, it goes up in value, and when they pull out. Never pull out of the stock market. When they pull out, it goes down. Basically, it's supply and demand. Okay. So have I said anything wrong yet? Typically, investment does help stop. Okay. So if all of this is true, if all of this rings true, then doesn't this mean that the uber rich, the 10% of society, basically cause the stock market to crash at their whim, because it's whenever they decide, because they own the majority of the stock market. So when they pull out of it, because they're like they want to pull out. I mean, they don't want to have full release on the insides. They pull out, and then the stock market bottoms out because there's no more money, because they pull their money out because they wanted to keep their money safe. If that's the case, then that means that when the stock market crashes, and I know there's a lot of different ways the stock market can crash. For example, in 2008 during the financial crisis, all of it had to do with toxic stock assets, especially when it came to home ownership, right? So that was people basically inflating and artificially inflating assets which were already seen as toxic, and then people betting against the liquidity of those assets. So that's what caused that crash. But in a grandiose term, essentially, yes, but it's not just individuals. I think most shares are held by big retirement funds. True. So it's actually held, again, by larger conglomerates, but it's still held by a minority of people who decide once in a while when to do it, right? So if all of this is true, then doesn't this, like, am I wrong in like, I mean, maybe my cocaine drawing is a little bit off, but am I wrong in suggesting that the minority of rich people cause the stock market to crash at their whims because they lose investor confidence or whatever it is. They decide to pull out immediately and rapidly, and then the stock market bottoms out because there's no security investing in it. That would only cover the US. Well, the US, the rest of the stock markets and the rest of the markets globally, because the US is the richest country in the world, all of their investor confidence is based on the US investor confidence. So if the US stock market tanks, you usually find that the rest of the stock markets, including the Asian Stock Exchange, including the TSX, all the other ones, seem to bottom out as well, because everyone's like, holy shit, this is happening, let's all pull our money out. And then collectively, the whole globe, all the rich people pull their money out of the stocks and the stock bottoms out. So yes, that's basically it. But its ultimate security depends on whether or not this 10% of people who own the majority of stocks, 84% are owned by 10%, whether or not they maintain consumer confidence in investing in these companies. So even if the company and the employees of that company are doing great and they're doing the good work and they're wholesome and they work at the widget factory and they're making the sexiest widgets you've ever seen, and even if they're doing that all day, what it really comes down to is whether or not all these super elite rich people will decide to keep investing or pull out on any given day. Because I know this is broad, I know it's general, but to me this seems like a fundamentally fragile system, and one that keeps lending itself to these kind of predatory practices and calamities. They almost seem to me like they're built in. Like if it's a very fragile house of cards that's resting upon a minority of people who may or may not have consumer confidence to inflate or deflate stocks at any given time, on what laurels can the majority of average people who can't afford to be a part of the system actually have any confidence in keeping it afloat? I'm doing this in good faith. I know there's some people in here. There might be some neoliberals. There might be some hardcore capitalists. And please, you're welcome. You're always welcome in my community, in my chat. I want to learn from you to better my own self. Or to debase myself. One of the two. I like debasing myself as well. But it seems like more and more this is kind of all a weird scam. Or at least it all seems like it's propped up on something that's very, very like tenuous. It seems to me like a rich casino, a publicly operated and viewed and maintained casino of which all our lives depend on it. And it also has some great insurance policies because the casino is necessary for society to exist and operate. So because of that, if the casino ever goes down, then the government and the Federal Reserve can use injections of cash to try and prop it back up in the form of short-term loans, which must then come returned. So I understand that's separate, conflating the $1.6 trillion bailout, not bailout, stimulus package, very, very, very important to differentiate the two. But that stimulus package is different because the Federal Reserve doesn't oversee public spending. So someone who's like, well, that $1.6 trillion should have gone towards hospitals and healthcare. No, that's totally fine. That's not their purview. Their purview is the economy and to maintain the economy, but still they're maintaining a rich elite gambling system and propping it up for the house. Okay, all right. I'm glad. Well, yeah. I'm glad. I wasn't imagining this because in my head I've been thinking this, and the more I learn about it, I mean, I'm often of the mind where I'm like, maybe like you just don't get it. You don't understand. You know, you don't understand. This stuff is like microeconomics, macroeconomics, all this kind of stuff. It's beyond the pale. It's not something that's in your purview. You, as your, strange little silly dill dollar empire, run off and try to live off those dill dollars and then go do your thing. Maybe I'm wrong. That's how I operate most of my life. Maybe I'm wrong. No, it's the children. It's the children who are wrong.
Hey you, yes, you. Do you like cozy environments with other wholesome people? Well then come join the Discord. It's got a whole bunch of stuff to help you with creative endeavors, such as stock footage, royalty-free music, and an amazing community of people looking to help each other out and uplift your content. Join the Discord now by going to weareserfs.com. That's weareserfs.com.
We would like to thank Miranda Marone. You are our monarch, and we thank you for our indentured servitude. We would like to thank our lords, Ricky Pilgrim, I'm Raft, Michaela Schmid, Tomospin, Farrer Tahone. You are all the pillars of our organization. To our Knights of the Square Table, Paul Parafit, Daniel Kahn, Clement Chutskoth, Alan R., Josh Mickelson, and Dr. Zayas, Dr. Zayas, Cooper Pilot, Andrea Lynn Epperly, Dylan Bythe, Terry, Todd Buckingham, and Todd Lajeunesse. And to our merchants, thank you for taking mercy upon us.